starting our 16-hour road trip to Laguna Niguel, California from Portland, Oregon. Clearly, it's off to a really good start. No, it hasn't been bad. We've only been on the road for about half an hour. It's 6:45 now, so unfortunately, he did wake up super early. He woke up at 5:15 this morning, and normally he wakes up around 6:30. So luckily, I completely packed my car last night, and the only thing that I packed this morning before he got up was the cooler of just like snacks and drinks for the drive. So planning to do 8 hours today and land in Willows, California, some little town in Northern California, and then hopefully 8 hours tomorrow. If for some reason, it's going really terribly, then I'll add another day of driving and cut down each day to like 5 hours so that, it's not so hard on him really. So we'll see. Hopefully he's going to take his nap soon so I can get, an hour or two in, and then we can make our first stop. So I will continue to update you guys soon. What's up, guys? So we are exactly 3 hours in from when we left. We haven't made any stops. Magnus actually stayed up a lot longer than he normally does at the start of the day. So he was up until about 7:50, and then took exactly an hour nap, which is good because he usually only takes like an hour and a half. His first nap and his second nap of the day is a lot longer. And he's up now, and so he's probably getting pretty hungry soon here. And so I think we're gonna stop. We're past Roseburg. We're headed towards Myrtle Creek. So I'm just gonna look for a rest stop. I don't need to get gas or anything, and I have everything I would need in my car. So far it's gone really well. I was worried because he stayed up for so long at the beginning, but he didn't get too grumpy or anything before he fell asleep. So now he's just playing back there with his Sophie giraffe. We'll look for a place to stop, and we'll update you guys soon. Okay, so we found a rest stop. Magnus is having his first bottle on the road. The rest stop's pretty nice, actually. The bathrooms were nice, and no changing pad in there. So luckily I have my little Bumbo one here, so I'm just gonna change him here in the car when he's done eating. And then we'll take off, and hopefully we can go my plan is to go another 2.5 hours. We did like 3.5 this first leg, I guess. So, if he's good and he doesn't need me to stop, then I'm just gonna keep going as far as we can. What's the matter, bud? Okay, that's it for now. Things are going well. So this is the not so fun part. Obviously, he's crying. Magnus is crying back there. I did just give him some solids, and I changed him not too long ago. It's about 11:30 now. We have about 3 hours left until we get to our hotel, so we're making really good time. But he's been up for almost 3 hours now, and that's pretty long for him. So he's ready to take a nap. He's just fussing a lot. So hopefully he goes down and sleeps for, an hour and a half or 2 hours maybe. So, all right, we made it to California. We just crossed over the border. Looks like we have a little less than 3 hours until our hotel. So that's pretty good. Magnus has been amazing, which I'm pretty surprised by. Alright, so I think this is our last stop. We only have an hour and a half left. It's almost 1:30 now. So Magnus pooped, and I fed him one last time. He unfortunately barely took his second nap. He slept for like 20 minutes, so he's been up for quite a while now, but hopefully he sleeps a little bit now. Okay, see you when we get there. We made it! Woo! Small little hotel. Magnus will be sleeping in the bathroom. So it took us about 9 hours, which without stops, it would have been like 7 hours and 45 minutes. So we only stopped 3 times, and I feel like we made really good time, you know, only added a little over an hour onto the regular time. So yay, time to relax. He didn't really sleep too much, but you know, I'll just put him to bed a little bit early and hopefully he'll get some good rest tonight. Okay, peace. You want to read the book? Hey guys, so it's day 2. It's about 6:45 this morning on Wednesday, and we're planning to get to Laguna Niguel, California around, hopefully around 4. It would be my guess, but that would be pretty quick. It's exactly 8 hours with no stops, so I'm assuming it's gonna be, you know, hopefully 9 to 9.5 hours if everything goes well. Magnus slept for 13 hours last night in his crib, which is awesome. I just was kind of worried about how he would sleep in a new place and in the hotel bathroom. So, yeah. So I'll keep you guys posted, but so far so good. Car is packed, we're ready to roll. It's a little after 1 o'clock now, and we're about an hour outside of LA. So we're, I think, about 2 hours. So we're making really good time. And this should be our last stop. I guess unless maybe he poops. But I don't need to get gas, and this should be his last feeding since it's only a couple more hours, and then he'll be good until we get there. So it's been a little rough today just because he has barely slept. I don't know if it's just because he's older now, but he just really has a hard time sleeping in his car seat these days. I did get him a convertible car seat, which is pretty new for him, but I feel like it would be a lot comfier than his other one, but I can't really cover it, so that's what's been kind of difficult, because it like doesn't get dark at all. And before with the infant one, I used to put a cover over it, and I feel like that would help him stay asleep. So far, he has only taken 2 35-minute naps, so that's been kind of rough since he's normally a really, really good napper. So I think, you know, every time he's awake, you can just tell he's grumpy and he's whining, and but he's doing really good considering the circumstances, obviously. So I'm really looking forward to getting there. I'm super exhausted too, so might have to stop and get another coffee just to kind of get me through this last couple hours, but we've probably been stopping more because I have to pee, so we don't really need to stop that much for him. But yeah, so it's been good so far, and we're just looking forward to getting there and relaxing. Okay, I'll update you guys when we get there. Okay, so I just wanted to share a few tips that I feel like helped me the most throughout this whole experience and just planning the road trip. My first tip would be just to create an entire list of all the items that you're going to need to pack. And that includes, it's not just for the road trip, that includes what you're going to need when you get there. Luckily, we were driving to the condo that my husband and I eventually end up moving into. And so we did have a lot of our stuff already down there, which is helpful as opposed to like staying in a hotel or staying somewhere that didn't have anything. But I did, have to pack extra. I had to pack, diapers for the trip and also diapers for when I got here. Unless you're going somewhere, obviously where you can buy them right away at the store, or you could like send them via Amazon down before you get there. Something like that, I think is just really helpful to be overly prepared for any situation. Because as you know, if you have a baby, just nothing is in your control anymore. So I had a pretty big list of just everything. Then my next tip would be to actually write out and go onto Google Maps and figure out where you're going to make stops or where you would like to make stops, and kind of plan out your day. So for me, the trip took 2 full days. We left in the morning first thing when he woke up, and then we got there the second day right before he was about to go to bed. So for me, I was planning out like every 2.5, 3 hours I would probably have to stop. I just kind of was approximating that and guessing based off of his normal schedule. And sometimes I ended up going further, or sometimes I ended up stopping earlier. It just kind of depended on, if he pooped or if something happens, then obviously you're gonna have to stop. But I do think that it was really helpful to plan out, and then I could see like, okay, he's gonna take a nap at this time hopefully, and then we can stop when he wakes up in this city, and it just, I feel like, made it a lot easier. I found a ton of different rest stops, and since I had everything in my car and I actually would change him in the car and feed him in the car, I didn't really need to go to a gas station unless I needed to get gas. So I felt like rest stops were easier. So you can actually search rest stops ahead of time and pinpoint them on your trip. And then I think my only other tip would be to have a ton of entertainment for your baby while you're driving. The hardest thing for me was that I obviously didn't have someone with me, so it's not like someone could sit in the back and sit next to him and play with him and kind of keep him entertained. And so I did buy, you could see in one of the pictures, there's a thing that holds an iPad, and I will link it below to where I got it. I got it off Amazon, and actually came in a 2-pack, so my husband can have one in his truck for any future drives. But that was really helpful. I downloaded his favorite movie, which is Moana, but I downloaded a couple other movies and some shows on Netflix just in case I ever wanted to, set something up while he was awake. I also put a huge basket in the middle seat, which you can kind of see in the picture that I shared, but it has all of his toys in it. I literally just packed all of his smaller toys and made sure to have those so that he could actually reach over himself and he could pull stuff. He knew the basket was there. He could just keep pulling stuff out. And if not, then I could actually reach around while I was driving and hand him a toy or something that he's trying to reach. So that I found that was really helpful to just kind of keep him happy, even when he was whining, and it still, I think, helped a lot. So those are like my 3 main tips. I feel like just be overly prepared for anything. So, one more thing. When I planned out my hotels, I created a plan A of, I want to do this in 2 days, and we're going to drive, 7.5 hours, 8 hours. First day, we're going to drive 7.5, 8 hours the next day. But I also made a plan B of, if things are going really terribly, he's not sleeping, he's screaming his head off in the car, then I had planned to drag it out into three days of driving, where I would just do like 5 hours each day so that it wasn't as long in the car. And then I also planned out that trip just in case of like where I would stay and things like that. I think that's really helpful to have like a little bit of a backup plan. Okay, I hope that you guys enjoy this video. Thanks.